This is CBC Here and Now.
Hashtag help find Courtney. The RNC calls her disappearance suspicious.
It's been almost a week now. This deviation from her typical routine certainly has created a great alarm for investigators.
Behind the gates at Soldiers Pond, a sneak peek at Nalcor's huge power line that's being built just outside of St. John's.
2 years ago, running the couch between commercial, lifting the couch to the fridge was about all I do there.
A CBS man who fought cancer and obesity is now taking on the Telly 10.
Well, chance of thunder showers for much of the island this evening. Parts of Labrador actually looking at wet snow tonight, but there is some good news in the long range. Details are coming up.
It's been almost a week since 24-year-old Courtney Lake was last seen. Her family and friends are extremely worried, doing everything they can to try and find her.
Well, now police say her disappearance is suspicious. Here Now's Peggy Lamb was at the RNC News Conference this afternoon. She's joining us live. Peggy, what is the latest?
Well, as you may know, she has been missing since last Wednesday afternoon. It is an unusual move, but the RNC is releasing video footage of when she was last seen, which is right here at this Esso station behind me on Elizabeth Avenue.
The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary says Lake's disappearance is highly suspicious. Police say that for almost a week she hasn't been using her cell phone, bank account, or social media. They're launching a public campaign with the hashtag Help Find Courtney.
One of the ways they can assist us in our investigation would be for them to share the information, because you don't know how much someone you may know on your own social media may know to offer to us. So that's why we've created this theme through social media with the hashtag. So we're encouraging everybody to hit share on our posts, and we're hoping that we can find Courtney quickly.
Lake was wearing a gray jacket, pink hoodie, and a plaid shirt, black pants, and Nike sneakers with pink laces.
Now, Lake's family and friends are also offering a reward with for anybody with information of her whereabouts. They're trying to raise $2,000 through a GoFundMe campaign. Back to you.
Thanks, Peggy. Now, is it bullying or just a citizen expressing his opinions? St. John's City Councillors say former mayor and the current chair of the Public Utilities Board, Andy Wells, has gone too far. They say his emails crossed the line from political comment to personal attacks. Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports.
Councillors here say the chair of the Public Utilities Board, Andy Wells, is being an abusive bully, and they're calling on the provincial government to stop it.
But I do think that government failed to investigate this issue. There was little to no response formally, and I think this is very embarrassing.
Of course, Andy Wells is a private citizen and as such is free to express his opinion. But these emails aren't coming from just any private citizen. Andy Wells used his Public Utility Board address to send these emails to councillors. Emails that called Danny Breen a backroom conniver and a political operative. And Danny Breen says that shouldn't be tolerated.
When you use your work address, you always represent the office that you hold, and you have to act with a greater degree of caution. So, I find that particularly troublesome.
And I wish I had something specific to look at. So if there's a councillor out there that feels he's being bullied, then show me the information, and I will promise that employer or any employee of any, as it relates to justice, I'd be happy to have a look at it to make sure that it doesn't cross any line.
On Twitter, Andy Wells is clearly unapologetic. He tweeted, "Tina Turner wrote a song. What's love got to do with it? So what's nice got to do with it? These people are wastrels and cowards." You might even say he's doubling down with tweets like this. Breen and Galgay are having a sookie fit, saying I'm being mean to them. What Andy Wells says he really wants is councillors to explain why, in his words, they have wasted millions of taxpayers' dollars. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The company that is building a transmission line to send electricity from this province to Nova Scotia is trying to figure out why one of the huge steel towers collapsed. CBC NL suspects the guy wire system at the site in western Newfoundland failed, causing the tower to fall on Sunday. Nobody was injured. Now, work on that part of the Maritime Link project has been halted while Occupational Health and Safety investigates. Well, despite the setback with the power line on the island's west coast, work continues on the end point on the east coast. Now, Corps opened the gates to the Soldiers Pond construction site. Whether it's the dollars or the voltage, the Labrador Island Link is all about big numbers. Here now's Terry Roberts reports.
More than 3,200 steel towers being raised across this province. But this one is special. The last one on the Labrador Island Link. And it's here at Soldiers Pond outside of St. John's. The line is now 80% complete, and the man responsible for its construction essentially says it's practically indestructible.
I'm very confident in the ability for the towers and the anchors, the lines to withstand the worst that Newfoundland can throw at it.
Once complete, the link will first be used to transmit small amounts of power from Churchill Falls. And then 824 megawatts from Muskrat Falls will flow by 2020. This conversion station will play a vital role.
Soldiers Pond, simply put, is the facility by which the DC power that comes from Muskrat Falls, that's transmitted 1,100 kilometers across the overhead lines, lands itself here in Soldiers Pond. And here is where it is converted to AC power that is then provided to the businesses and the people of Newfoundland and Labrador.
It's a complex process. DC yard, converter transformers, massive synchronous condensers, a switch yard.
The contractors, the equipment, the expertise is from every part of the world, Asia, Europe, South America, and throughout North America.
A huge undertaking. More than 400 workers at Soldiers Pond today, and hundreds more erecting towers and stringing lines. And it's not cheap. The link will cost $3.4 billion.
The intention will be for this site to be completed well ahead of that timeline, such that power from Churchill Falls can be brought down ahead of the Muskrat Falls generated power and provided to the people of the island by the middle of 2018.
Terry Roberts, CBC News, Soldiers Pond.
2 towns on the northeast Avalon have hired a company to patrol their streets. The commissionaires are now on patrol in Torbay and Portugal Cove, St. Phillips. The towns say they just weren't getting enough of a police presence from the RNC. Here now's Cease Hare reports.
ATVs buzzing around Torbay is a little piece of a bigger problem in the town. And to tackle the problem, Torbay hired a private security company. The town claims there are simply not enough cops.
We've talked to the RNC from the chief right down the line about more enforcement from their end.
Teenagers partying on dead-end streets, noise, loud music was all bad enough, but speeding cars and ATVs forced council to act.
Especially when it comes to speeding and activities on the road, it went to the extreme, I think, and we had so many calls from neighborhoods about even during the daytime, lunch hours, for when the school is out.
In Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, same story. Not enough police officers on the roads.
ATV traffic due to dumping of garbage at the end of streets, hypodermic needles being found in some areas.
Both towns hired the commissionaires. The security company does patrols and reports suspicious activity to police. The cost, $200,000. As for the RNC, this is nothing new. Municipal and private enforcement working with police. As for the perception of not enough cops, the RNC says that's not the case.
We do have the presence, and we probably have a lot more presence than you realize. We have community services officers that are working in the schools in these areas. We have our traffic division that clearly work in those areas. And we have plainclothes officers that also work in there. But once we identify an issue into a community, then we will work with the community, with that particular municipality.
Both towns say the year-long pilot project, only 2 months old, works so well they want to expand enforcement power. They want the province to change the law and allow the security companies to issue tickets for some bylaw infractions. Cease Hare, CBC News, St. John's.
Canadian Blood Services says there is a critical need for donors this month, and it's asking people across the country to roll up their sleeves to help replenish its inventory. The organization says it's supposed to have enough blood on hand to cover demand for 5 to 8 days. And right now it has just 2 to 3 days supply of the universal donor type O negative. This is National Blood Donor Week.
A large climate change study in Canada's north won't go ahead this year because of, wait for it, climate change. The Coast Guard vessel Amundsen called off its mission to Hudson Bay. The vessel ended up having to perform ice-breaking and search and rescue duties off Newfoundland because all of the Coast Guard's icebreakers were on refit. Amundsen was on call to clear shipping lanes and to assist boats that got stuck trying to get out crab fishing. That delayed their departure to Hudson Bay by 2 weeks and made research conditions unsafe. Now, Dr. David Barber is the lead scientist on the Amundsen mission, and he says no one could have anticipated the heavy ice this year, which was 8 meters in some places.
The fishing boats were pushing hard to get out into these environments, expecting them to be just a heavy ice year off the Newfoundland coast, which they'd seen before. They weren't expecting this. Nobody was expecting this. It was like far more difficult for anybody to navigate in it than they ever expected. And that led to, puncturing hulls and sinking boats and aircraft having to, save people off of ice floes and all kinds of personal safety issues.
Barber says the overall message from this year is how unprepared Canada is to deal with the impact of climate change.
Well, after one last hug and a final cup of coffee, these two young adventurers boarded a small boat and left St. John's this morning, headed across the North Atlantic to France. 20-year-old Joseph Gagnon and 25-year-old Brian Conville are planning to row non-stop across the Atlantic, hoping to make it in 60 days. Gagnon is from Quebec. He came up with the idea when he first sailed across the North Atlantic with his parents. Conville is a home builder from Dublin. They plan to row for 24 hours a day with 2-hour breaks, so one of them can sleep.
Excited, finally getting going. So it's been a long road of preparations, but it's good that we're finally leaving.
Speaking of taking on the North Atlantic, a British sailor arrived in Halifax this morning with a harrowing story to tell of having to be rescued at sea. Mervyn Wheatley was participating in a solo yacht race across the Atlantic when he hit a massive storm this weekend. Now, it happened about 1,600 kilometers off of St. John's, and his was one of 6 sailboats in the race that ended up sending out an SOS. The CBC's Carolyn has the story.
Calm, smiling, for Mervyn Wheatley, the last few days on the Queen Mary 2 have been a stark contrast to what happened late Thursday night.
First thing was they did a medical inspections on, and then they took me up to my stateroom, and I just stood there and laughed.
While trying to race solo across the Atlantic, Wheatley came across a monster of a storm. Another racer posted these photos. They faced hurricane-like conditions, including 15-meter waves that flipped Wheatley's yacht.
I knew I had a problem because the boat was upside down. And when it came up again, which it did fairly quickly, it was a shambles.
Unbeknownst to him, his yacht had automatically sent out an SOS. From the skies, he heard the drone of a plane, a Canadian Hercules.
I was so relieved, I couldn't even speak on the radio to start off with. I was quite surprised how taken aback I was emotionally.
In Halifax, the Joint Rescue Coordination Centre received 6 Mayday calls from participants in the race.
So we've had some wild cases, multiple ships even, but nothing of the intensity of these, at least 6 yachts and all the rest that did get damaged or retired.
The Canadians coordinated a number of rescues at the same time, using helicopters, planes and ships. And in Wheatley's case, the Queen Mary 2 was called into action.
That was not an easy rescue for her rescue boat crews, nor was the helicopter recovery off the Grand Banks easy for our cormorant.
His yacht is now lost at sea, and Wheatley is flying home tonight. After years of working on the water, he says this won't stop him from sailing the Atlantic and risking the elements again. Carolyn, CBC News, Halifax.
250 years ago, world-renowned James Cook finished surveying the West Coast and the Bay of Islands. Now in Corner Brook, all of that work will be celebrated this summer. I'll tell you all about Cook 250. That's coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. Just before we get to the weather with Carolyn, here's something to file under a little too close for comfort.
And maybe we should add a disclaimer, don't try this at home. These pictures come to us from Sam Lambert in Labrador.
Yes, he spotted a polar bear on the point in St. Louis. He says the bear came towards him, passed on the passenger side of the truck, and then the very brave man got out of the vehicle to take some pictures of the animal.
So Lambert says, the darn bear ran around the back of the truck and came towards me with his mouth opened. That's when he quickly jumped back into the truck and got a few more shots that you're seeing here from the safety of his rear view mirror. Lambert calls it the thrill of his life. Look at that. Objects in mirror are closer than appear. They certainly are. There's a polar bear.
Way too close for my comfort.
Oh, absolutely.
He's definitely a braver man than most.
And I would say probably pretty lucky as well. Well, as for the weather, you could say that some of the weather that's coming is better suited to polar bears than people. So let's get right to it. See some of our weather on the way headlines. There is a risk of thunder showers for much of the island for this evening. Pretty much before midnight. Between now and midnight, there were some thunder showers in different parts of the island throughout the day today. And there's actually a chance of wet snow in parts of Labrador overnight tonight, including where Mr. Lambert is in where was it? St. Louis, yes, right by Mary's Harbor there. And if you're in the east and you're looking to head out for a walk in the morning, we're going to have a nice start to the day here in St. John. So this is how things are shaping up overnight tonight. These are the showers that are bringing those risks of thunder showers in this evening. You can see that it starts to clear off pretty early tonight, but this is where there's a risk of that wet snow in southeastern Labrador, and overnight tonight you can see how that moves down to the northern peninsula there, and yeah, so it's going to be a little bit cold up there, and you can see why there's some wet snow possible up there with the temperatures near the freezing point in Cartwright tonight, a low of 2 degrees, and on the island about the mid to upper single digits overnight tonight, and winds pretty light. But you can see in the morning, St. John's, things are pretty clear, so it should be a nice start to the day, but these wet snow chances on the Bayport Peninsula there throughout the day, and still in Labrador there. So it's going to be a bit chilly and a little bit messy there for sure. So this is what we're looking at in St. John's. 9 degrees to start the day, a mix of sun and cloud. Winds from the southwest, 15 kilometers an hour. Showers will move in later in the afternoon at around 2 o'clock or so, and 14 degrees there. And in the evening, not looking too bad. Sun and cloud, the showers will move out, and we're looking at 7 degrees there. And here's a look at some of the temperatures across the province tomorrow. You can see on the Avalon, the northern half anyways, 16 degrees as the high, a little bit cooler on the southern part of the Avalon there. Placentia looking at 10 degrees as the high. Much cooler as you get into the northeastern part of the island, just 2 degrees as the high in Twillingate tomorrow, a little bit warmer as you head south. Grand Falls winds are looking at a high of 8 degrees. On the west coast, pretty nice day in Port aux Basques. Actually, you're going to see some sunshine down there and a high of 13 degrees. Some showers, patchy showers throughout the day on the west coast. Moving on up to the Straits area, things are going to warm up throughout the day, but you will see some showers. 10 degrees in Mary's Harbor as the high tomorrow. For the rest of Labrador, Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Churchill Falls. In the morning, you'll see that kind of messy mix of snow and showers, and the high there, 13 degrees, a bit cooler along the coast. And there is some good news, as I mentioned earlier. There's some nicer weather heading our way on the weekend, so I'll get to all of that a little later. Debbie?
Thanks so much, Carolyn. The maps we have of our province today were created by one world-renowned explorer. He surveyed most of Newfoundland some 250 years ago. And this summer, the amazing work of James Cook is being celebrated on the West Coast and Bay of Islands. Here now's Colleen Connors has more.
A lot of people may not recognize him. Just another face in the Corner Brook Museum. But this man is a world-renowned explorer who literally put Newfoundland on the map.
And so you can see here Port-au-Port, the Bay of Islands, and Bombay.
James Cook was the surveyor of Newfoundland. From 1763 to 67, he charted this province, marking areas unknown to the British at the time.
And he spent 1763 at the St. Pierre-Miquelon, Strait of Belle Isle. He returned in 1764 to the Strait of Belle Isle to finish that area. 1765 and 66, he charted the south coast, and in 1767 he completed between the south coast and the Strait of Belle Isle.
Cook's maps were so good, they are still used today.
With Cook and the techniques he developed from Samuel Holland and so on, his maps were really the first truly accurate maps. You could still navigate with these maps, and I think really until you get into like GPS, really that whole stream all comes from Cook up until that point.
Cook drew the outline of this province 250 years ago. His work is being celebrated across the globe this summer, including here on the West Coast. Cook 250 signage and maps will be on display at the Discovery Centre in Gros Morne and museums on the North Shore and the Bay of Islands.
It's an opportunity to both educate the public, tourists, and our own residents about the importance of Cook and the work he did.
Cook 250 celebrations tie in with Canada's 150 birthday and the Tall Ships Regatta that's coming to Corner Brook and the Northern Peninsula at the end of July.
Coincidentally, the greatest tall ship mariner of all time surveyed our coast this year, and so it's quite an interesting connection.
While mapping and surveying most of the Bay of Islands, Cook also named many famous places, including, of course, the Blomidon Mountains. They were named by him. And there are 2 hiking trails in Lark Harbour and York Harbour, also named by Cook. And those trails will be given new names in honor of Cook this summer. It's all part of the Cook 250 celebrations. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
This next story is an inspirational tale. One man's journey in the face of some serious health issues. Now, Glenn McMullen from Conception Bay South was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. Back then, he weighed 340 pounds. Now, he's in shape and preparing for his first Tele 10 road race. He spoke with Here and Now's Ryan Cook about his journey.
2 years ago, I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. So I had a tumor between my esophagus and my stomach, and I was 340 pounds. I was morbidly obese. So I started trying to lose some weight to get ready for the fight against the cancer. Lost about 50 pounds and had chemo radiation, and then they took out my esophagus and most of my stomach, and continued with the weight loss, trying to get healthier, and running with the goal of the Tele, of course, eventually, and managed to get myself down to, well, presently about 174, and still working on it a little bit.
So how quickly did things come together once you got the surgery?
It was a little slow at first. It's a big surgery, so getting back on your feet takes a while. It took months, not weeks. But it's, you know, every day is a little better. So slowly but surely you're feeling a little stronger, but you have to push it a little bit. It just doesn't all happen on its own. So pushed it a little more all the time. Was running 30 seconds and walking 3 minutes for a long time, and pretty soon you can do it for a minute and then 2, and then it all joins together eventually. And I used the Tele as a long-term goal. The Terry Fox run was kind of my short-term 5K. And then eventually I got to the point where I was enjoying the running because I was getting a little better at it. I'm still not a very good runner now, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty slow, but I can go for the distance, I think. So I'm hoping to finish it in maybe in 2 hours, hopefully, a little less, so that'd be good.
Can you tell me a bit about when you got the news, when you got that diagnosis?
Yeah, it's a shock. You know, it takes a couple of days to get your head around it and you know, get yourself straight with the what's coming up. But you know, the family was huge support. My wife, my daughter were incredible through the whole thing. So you know, then you get busy. You realize, okay, there's a lot of great medical people here, and they kind of lead you by the nose, take you through the whole thing, and you just do what you're told. And you know, all I did was try to work hard to support their efforts and throughout the ordeal, and it worked out very well.
How do you think you're going to be feeling at the start line and at the finish line as well?
Pretty nervous at the start line and pretty intimidated by all the great runners that I admire in the area. But I found that so far the running community in Newfoundland is amazing. And you know, the small races I've done, and even the great runners that, you know, I admire and I learn from watching, they've been very helpful, and they're always just great to lend a hand and give some encouragement. So excited about that, but it'll feel amazing when I cross the finish line. That's the big goal. So I'm gonna soak that up when I get there.
Up next, getting the word out about concussions. This family doctor talks about a new campaign to understand the signs of head trauma. Hockey Newfoundland and Labrador has unveiled a new awareness campaign aimed at helping players, coaches, and parents flag the signs of a concussion. The issue of preventing and managing concussions in hockey has become a hot topic in recent years. Players like Sidney Crosby's own concussion injuries have helped highlight the problem. Dr. Jared Butler is Hockey NL's medical advisor, and he joins us from Grand Falls, Windsor. Thanks very much for doing this.
Absolute pleasure to be here, Debbie.
So what is the new campaign all about?
Well, what we've decided to do over the last number of months, we were looking at partnering with different groups around the island, and we put together a project in conjunction with the government of Newfoundland and Labrador, municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador, and the Newfoundland and Labrador Medical Association, whereby we're going to place the concussion recognition tool. That's a tool developed out of an international concussion medical group and augmented every 4 years with new medical data. And that tool is going to be placed in numerous places around the province, in all of our ranks.
So when you say numerous places, just how many places and how many people do you think this is going to reach?
Well, we're hoping to have it placed on the back of every dressing room door and on every bench in every rink across Newfoundland and Labrador. So we have over 50 facilities in Newfoundland and Labrador. Our estimates are about 400 individual locations. When it comes to numbers we hope to reach, that's quite a large number. As you can imagine, every one of our stadiums across this province are highly utilized. We know the enrollment for Hockey Newfoundland and Labrador is around 13,500 enrollees. We also have our coaches, our parents, and that's under our umbrella. Not to mention all the other users at these stadiums. So you're talking, quite an extensive group that we hope to hit with this campaign.
Now, Dr. Butler, despite all the talk about concussions, is there still resistance from some players and coaches in acknowledging an injury?
I think we're still in that transition phase, Debbie, whereby, say 20 years ago, it wasn't really an accepted practice, say, for people to talk about whether or not they had a concussion. A lot of people used to say, well, they, quote, got their bell rung, and they get out there the next shift and go on and play. But the highlighting of this has really started at the professional level. You've seen big name players like Sidney Crosby and other professionals receive a concussion. And it's really created a lot of awareness that's trickled down to the grassroots programs in minor hockey and throughout the Hockey Canada family. So it is becoming much more of an accepted thing. People are still, somewhat, reluctant to talk about it and deal with it at times. But I'm finding myself, even over the last, say 5 to 7 years, I've been practicing and dealing with concussions in the senior hockey level across Newfoundland and Labrador. The ability and the interest from the players themselves to present to me and talk to me about their symptoms has greatly increased. It's becoming much more acceptable to talk about.
Well, I just wanted to know, how often are young people coming in with head injuries? Is this something you're seeing a lot, a few times a week, more?
I see it quite frequently in my individual practice. I do a lot of sports medicine out here in Grand Falls, Windsor, so I would see it probably a little more frequent than a lot of our physicians across this province in family practice, just from the nature of what I do. But it is becoming more and more common. I think our awareness is improving. It is a massive public health issue that I'm really grateful for our partners for helping us tackle and take on. There's nothing worse than seeing a child battle this, because it's not only impacting them from a hockey point of view, it's impacting them from their school point of view and the social life point of view. And no matter whether you're the child or an adult, that's a big deal. It impacts your life in general, your work, your school, and your activities that you want to engage in. So it's becoming more open, more discussed, and I would definitely say the frequency that people are presenting with is increasing.
And I just want to briefly ask you about other sports. We've been talking about hockey. Do you see head injuries, concussions from people being involved in other sports like soccer, rugby, basketball, for instance?
Absolutely. In my clinic, I see them all the time from all walks of life. We had them in from equestrian, horseback riding. I've had them in from volleyball, basketball, rugby. I've had soccer players. You name the activity, I've had it. Whether it's walking, people walk and slip on the ice. I've had them at their work and their professional, side of things as well. It's not an exclusive hockey injury. It's an injury that can happen to anybody in any field, no matter what you're doing, if you're participating in recreational activity. activities. The hope and goal of starting this project through Hockey Newfoundland Labrador is expansion and creation of awareness across the spectrum of sports and recreational activities. We will be making contact with other groups across the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. This project is not stopping in our rinks. We are going to work to expand it to as many places as we can to increase our awareness, no matter what your sport or activity is.
Dr. Jared Butler, thank you very much for speaking with me today.
Absolute pleasure, Debbie. Thank you for your time.
He's been running track for less than a year, but he's already won a national competition. We're going to hear a little more from Andrew Wood coming up on Here and Now. Welcome back to Here and Now. Memorial University track star Andrew Wood has been getting lots of attention after a big win at a national scouting camp in Halifax. Last night we told you a little bit about the 21-year-old St. John's man. Today I got the chance to speak with Wood about winning the RBC's top performer competition. Now the recent graduate of Memorial School of Business is still in shock over the victory, but like all good runners, he's taking it in stride. What did it feel like when you won this national competition in Halifax over the weekend?
It was an amazing feeling. Like I've said before, I went in with no expectations, just to have fun and show my abilities. It was a surreal experience though, for sure. It was the first time I was on a stage like that, and I felt great.
You were originally a basketball player. Can you talk a little bit about what happened after high school?
Right, so I had the opportunity to play in Ontario, but being 17 years old and being a homebody, kind of got scared from the opportunity. If I had my time back, I think I would have taken that opportunity, but that's water under the bridge now. So then for 3 years I was just focusing on school, and in my final year I finally got the opportunity to join the track team and took full advantage of it, and here I am.
So what brought you into the track team? You're a basketball player, like how did you transition into track? What helped you get on the team there here at Memorial University?
Yeah, well, I have a friend, he's a huge part in the track and field community here in Newfoundland. He's a dedicated volunteer as well. His name is Mark Miller. He's been on my back for a couple of years now to join. I guess he saw the potential in me. I always said no, but one day I said, it's my last year at university. This is my last chance really, so I finally said yes, and I've loved it ever since.
So you joined the MUN track team in September. How was the season for you? Your first and only season?
Yeah, first and only season. It was a great season. It's more than I could ever ask for. I accomplished everything that I came in to accomplish. And just most importantly, I just had fun along the way. I met a lot of great people. I couldn't ask for any better experience.
So you go up to Halifax last weekend, you win this competition. So what do you know about this? Like, what does this mean for you now?
I just love, the unknown. That's what excites me the most. I'm just taking every opportunity I can, riding the wave, seeing where it takes me, and just enjoying the day-to-day, what it brought.
So we were talking about you last night on Here and Now, and with this win, RBC, I think, fronts you about $30,000 to help train to become a possible Olympic athlete.
Right.
Was that something that was ever on your radar, growing up as an athlete?
I've been asked that, and I hate to say no, but I had an aspiration to play in the NBA, obviously, just like every other kid did. And the Olympics was obviously something I watched and aspired to, but it really was not on my radar, at least in the front of my mind. But once it was brought to my attention that it could be a potential in my life, I got super excited, and I plan to take full advantage of the opportunity.
So you celebrated this big win over the weekend in Halifax, but your season's not over. What's up next, Andrew?
So I have the qualifiers for the Canada Games coming up in Halifax on the 22nd of this month, and if all goes well, I'll be competing in the Canada Games at the end of July.
And also, you have a big trip coming up. You're going to get to go to the Olympics in 2018.
Right.
What do you know about that? Anything?
I don't know anything about that. I got to do my research and learn about the South Korean culture, but I'm super excited to go. I know the flight's going to be long, but it's all about the journey. I'm super excited to take everything in. I can't wait.
Congratulations, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks again.
He's super excited, but he's just so chill.
He's pretty,
yeah, it's a nice mental attitude, I think, and what a remarkable story.
He is. He's a very modest. He doesn't really love all this media attention, but he's, as I jokingly said, he's taking it all in stride. He's doing it because he knows that it's a big deal. But a quick little fun fact, I learned this after the interview. So as we found out, he was in his 4th year of university when he joined the track team, and he's probably one of the very few university athletes who won Rookie of the Year for his sport in his last year as a student at the university.
Good point.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
Love that story. That's excellent. So things are going to be cooling down a bit for us as the week moves on, but the weekend is looking pretty good. So that's good.
So you just got to suffer through Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. And then Friday's a little bit chilly too. But anyways, I'll tell you all about it. But first, I just want to show you this photo because I just think it is gorgeous. This is Humber Valley. That little pooch in the foreground there is Micah. That's Ashley's dog, and that was last night, the sunset over the Humber
stunning
River. So thank you very much, Ashley Hand, for sending that in. Just love that picture.
Makes me think of all the pictures that I take are kind of garbage compared to the ones that we see here and now.
It's amazing, like the sunsets and the sunrises, the pictures we get.
And there's a dog, and I know you got a soft spot for the pooches.
Yeah, gotta love the dog. All right, so let's have a look at what's coming our way. This is the situation right now. There's a risk of thunder showers for much of the island this evening. This is the system that's bringing some rain to us, about 2 to 4 millimeters expected overnight tonight. So this is what we're looking at tomorrow. Some showers in the east in the afternoon. A high of 16 degrees, though. That's not too bad. A bit cooler as we move into central. Chance of showers there, 8 degrees. On the west coast, 13, and a chance of showers as well. And in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, there is a chance that you could see some a messy mix of snow and rain tomorrow morning, but temperatures should go up to about 13 degrees. So Wednesday night into Thursday, there's not a whole lot going on in terms of precipitation. We have some cold spots there and some cloud cover, but overall it's kind of quiet, more quiet than we've been used to lately. So on Thursday, you can see where that temperature dip is coming in. So On Thursday, a high of just 8 degrees in St. John's and a chance of showers. In Central, getting up to just 12 degrees and 13 on the west coast. Much nicer in Western Labrador, though, on Thursday afternoon. 16 as a high there with some sun and cloud, and cooler in Eastern Labrador. So Thursday night, heading into Friday, you can see things are quite nice and clear right across the province there. So still going to be pretty cool here in the east. 11 degrees as the high on Friday afternoon as we're heading into the weekend. Some sun and cloud there. Warmer in Central, 17 degrees, and nice on the west coast, sun and cloud and 18. Lovely in Labrador too, 19 degrees as the high on Friday afternoon. A nice way to get your weekend rolling with a bit of sunshine there. So things are looking up for us on the weekend though. Saturday and Sunday is looking pretty good for St. John's in the eastern part of the island. We have 17 degrees as the high, and mix of sun and cloud, and lovely as well as we get into central and western Newfoundland. Temperatures in the low 20s with some sun and cloud there. And Saturday looking pretty good in eastern Labrador, 19 as the high there. A few showers moving in as the week kicks off, but overall not too bad.
Let's meet our young athlete of the day. There she is, 7-year-old Mackenzie Bragg from St. Philip's. Mackenzie plays in the novice division with the St. John's Minor Hockey League.
Yes, in the summer she trades the ice for the field and plays soccer with the Portugal Club St. Philip's Spurs.
Congratulations, Mackenzie. You are our young athlete of the day.
Toronto Blue Jays select Nate Pearson.
Capturing a roll call to remember, one Central Florida pitcher got his wings when the Blue Jays picked him 28th overall in the MLB draft yesterday, obviously sparking some big celebration.
The 20-year-old recently wowed scouts with close to a dozen pitches topping 160 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
And on that note, a warm welcome to Canada's lone Major League Baseball team, Nate Pearson. Look at all.
The SPCA in British Columbia is investigating what it calls a disturbing case of abuse of chickens being rounded up for slaughter, and it is disturbing.
Everyone who sees this footage can agree that the level of animal abuse uncovered by this whistleblower simply cannot continue.
Moriarty is describing video shot undercover for the animal rights group Mercy for Animals. CBC News has made a decision to show only the stills from the video, which shows workers at a BC chicken catching service called Elite Services. Chickens are seen being kicked and dismembered and suffering other cruelty. Elite Services says it has fired 5 employees plus a supervisor since the video emerged. The company transports the birds to a processing company called Lilydale, which sells chicken to Loblaws and other companies. Loblaws says it is also investigating.
The Canadian military is facing calls to review its policies related to the treatment of single parents. The lawyer for a Navy officer who claims she was told to choose between her career and her child says there are a number of changes that can be made to the system to make it less discriminatory. The CBC's Murray Brewster explains.
At the time, I had tried to place my duty to the country above my son. And I couldn't do it.
Laura Nash, an acting sub-lieutenant in the Navy, says she was given an impossible choice in 2013. Choose between her military career and her child. She had been on track to be a maritime warfare officer until life intervened. She had a baby and then suddenly no spouse and no one to care for her child while on frequent deployments. Nash tried to get a transfer to another occupation but was ultimately denied. Her case highlights some of the extraordinary challenges the military faces in recruiting more women. The government recently set a goal of having 25% of the military made up of women within 10 years, a daunting task in light of a lot of bad publicity surrounding sexual misconduct.
The narrative around the military has been challenging. It's not that it's not deserved. I recognize that it's deserved. I need to change the reasons why that narrative exists.
Laura Nash's lawyer says the issue is bigger than just cleaning up sexual misconduct. Natalie McDonald says several policies discriminate against single parents. She says some have tried to argue her client should have never chosen the military as a career.
I say that's ridiculous. That's absolutely unfair. It's discriminatory, and I would hope by 2017 that kind of attitude would be banished from society.
The military would not comment directly on Laura Nash's case. The Liberal government has made the empowerment of women in the workplace a priority. CBC News requested an interview with the Minister for the Status of Women. Her office declined to comment on the case. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
The latest figures on hate crimes show a sharp rise for one particular group, the Muslim community, and one organization is partly blaming politics.
The Canadian Muslim community bore the brunt of sinister political rhetoric surrounding the federal election.
Statistics Canada says Muslims were the targets in 159 incidents reported to police in 2015. That is an increase of 60% over the previous year. Crimes targeting the Jewish population went down to 178. Overall, hate crimes reported to police in 2015 totaled 1,362. That is a rise of 5%. Well, a spectacular crash of a World War II fighter plane to tell you about. The Spitfire flipped over during takeoff at an air show in France when the nose failed to lift and the propeller hit the ground.
As you can see there, the crowd did manage to lift the plane high enough to pull the pilot out. He suffered moderate injuries.
Wow.
It's incredible.
We will be back with more news right after the break. Welcome back once again. Well, summer's almost here, so here's a warning when you get desperate to cool off. Beware the brain freeze.
And time. All right, we're going to stop. And let's see. All right, let's open Kinley's.
Oh, that's bad. This young Memphis Redbirds fan joined a slushy chugging contest, but from the looks of his reaction, he may have regretted it. Oh, yikes. I feel his pain. We don't know if he won the contest, but he was clearly, oh dear, the MVP. Oh, my. Why do they do those things?
He definitely gave 110%. Oh, that was awesome. I could watch that on loop and loop. Anyways, a country singer from Conception Bay South is in the running for a National Music Award. Mallory Johnson is one of the nominees in the 2017 CCMA Spotlight Performance Competition. Johnson scored a big hit in late 2015 with her song Tupelo?
Tupelo.
Yeah, I'm really good at this. Tupelo. Now.
Like Tupelo honey.
There, yeah. See, this is why Deb's the anchor and I'm the fill-in. Music NL chose her to represent the province at the Spotlight competition of the Canadian Country Music Awards. The winner is decided solely by public voting, which is happening now for 3 more days. If she gets a win, Johnson gets an all-expense-paid trip to the CCMAs and a showcase performance in Saskatoon. You can see a link here at the bottom if you'd like to learn more information on how to vote for Mallory Johnson.
Congratulations to her for that. So let's have a quick look at how things are shaping up for tomorrow and for Thursday. In the east, 16 degrees with a few showers in the afternoon. Cooler in central, 8 degrees as the high tomorrow. In Labrador, we're looking at the low double digits for the highs there. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this lovely picture that came in this afternoon. This is actually of this afternoon in Hermitage, and those clouds look amazing. I wish I knew if there was some sort of name on them.
I mean, if
Ryan would know.
Snod was here, he might know.
Yeah. Oh, he would definitely.
Definitely know.
Anyway.
I'm trying not to give him too much credit.
See you all tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Bye.